I know what you're thinking. Why am I sitting here without the camera pointing at my face? It is not my face I want you to pay attention to. My words are more important than the mouth and the face that they come from. As you sit there and you listen to me, listen to what I have to say, I'm only asking you to bear with me for as long as this video holds out. There are those out there who choose to lie about me, discredit me, and say evil and nasty things about me. They wish to silence everything, all that I have to say, everything that I have to spread. Putting out the illusion and the lie that everything I say is poison and wrong. Yet the very things that they wish to silence and cover up are the very things that they are guilty of themselves. Every year, more and more young people are dying due to drugs, alcohol, and illicit sex and debauchery. They chase after these things and covet them, thinking that their actions have no recourse, thinking that there is no negative backlash in the very things that they chase after, thinking that chasing after all the orgasms in the world will cover up the very emptiness inside them, when in reality, this is not the case at all. The very powers that be that tell you to chase after drugs and alcohol and debauchery, and use you to try and discredit me, use you to try and to abuse me, use you to sit there and try and tear me down, to shut me up. Because what they fear losing is using you as a great tool to fill their pockets with the dirty money that claims the lives of your friends and family and loved ones around you. How many funerals have you been to this year? Or last year, or the year before that? More than one? Now, how many of those funerals were somebody under the age of 40? How many of them were under the age of 30? Exactly. Do you see the lies you've been told? See how they used you? Exactly. How many of them have told you that, you know what, you have the brain power within inside you to make yourself a better person, with the power inside you to climb a higher path and to have a better sense of oneself. These are the very things that they don't want you to learn. You chase after drugs and alcohol without thinking that one day it'll age you much quicker than you want to. Just take a look around you. How many of your siblings, your brothers and sisters and parents, look decades older than they should? See more lies you've been taught? Exactly. How many of you chase after fame and fortune and riches and money without any sense of self, without any spirituality, without having any spiritual backbone to fall back, foundation to fall back on, without any sense of culture, to set yourself free of a mindset by going against the daily grind of this very nation that's tearing itself apart from the inside out? See more lies you've been told? Exactly. All the lies and all the things you've been taught are the very things that they use against you each and every day you walk. So you must ask yourself, what's it truly worth? Is it worth all the mess that you create? To those in the town of New Paltz, is it worth the lives you've lost? Is it worth the women that are going to be taken advantage of? Is it worth all the damage that is going to be done to everyone around the country? Is it worth all the nonsense that you're going to endure? Now, if you're still listening, and I hope you are, congratulations. You at least considered that maybe there is a truth and a higher path. Help me. Help me put an end to the ignorance. Help me put an end to help me to put an end to the dirty money that's being made. Help me teach our generation and the generations after us that there is a future for them with spiritual depth and a sense of oneself. Help me to teach those that it's okay not to want to fight in the military for oil profit, but to want to fight in the military to protect the very freedoms that we take for granted. Help me to teach culture and heritage and the tribalist way of life, which has more depth and more sense of security and more sense of oneself than money and drugs and alcohol could ever buy. Help me to stop the dishonor and disrespect of our most precious resource, the woman. It's time. It's time to stop pointing the finger at me and start pointing the finger at the ones who are really to blame.